Good morning, people. How you doing? So obviously I'm late today. I just got home after driving my wife, the lovely Lady Boomer, to work. Still having a little rough time with the passing of her father, but I'm back here. We got through the weekend. Actually, did a couple fun things just to get their minds off of things. And I'm ready to go. So play the intro. Bam. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. And stop the music. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, Marty, a.k.a. Dawg Knight. I got my cup of reparations coffee. That is good. And I'm ready to go. Sort of. Now, I am not 100% prepared today. I do have a couple articles that I wanted to touch on, but also we have a shortened show today because I'm running late. My spouse, the lovely Lady Boomer, and I, we took care of some arrangements, got some arrangements done, got a lot of stuff sent to Goodwill that belonged to my father-in-law. And then yesterday we went to the Minnesota State Fair, just because that's the thing to do in Minnesota. Now, if you're not familiar with the Minnesota State Fair, it is the largest state fair north of Texas. In other words, it's the largest state fair other than Texas, the second largest in the country, behind Texas. But you know, everything in Texas is bigger, but you wouldn't think that just a kind of midland state like Minnesota would have a huge state fair, but we do. I might even have some video of that, but I won't bring it out today because this is not vacation photo time. Okay, this is time we get serious. We talk about serious things on the show, and you know, every once in a while we'll put something fun at the end. But I haven't put that video together because I just took it yesterday. But I will bring some sights and sounds from the Minnesota State Fair to you probably in the next couple days. Anyway, and if you're anywhere near Minnesota, I guarantee you if you go to the Minnesota State Fair, you're going to freak out at how many people are there. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, hello, let's say good morning to everyone here. Rolling Bear, who is first and gets the bell. Good morning, Duck Dog, MC Hammer Time. Necrosol Collins, Mr. Dax, Tyler F, Functional, Smarty Bear, Ramen Noodles, Richo. Everyone's starting to roll in. Hey, let's get it going. So, my first story of the day, I know I'm looking over there, not you, but my first story of the day was just something fascinating. You may have seen this New York Times article, or heard of this New York Times article, in which the New York Times, who is it? They had this article called Trump Allies Target Journalist Over Coverage Deemed Hostile to White House. Now, let me I'm taking this off of Legal Insurrection because I pulled up the article in the New York Times and then that was my last free one of the month. So I'm going to take the parts right off of the, what the hell happened there? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. On illegal insurrection, they got the key paragraph that I wanted to read anyway. So here you go. Trump allies target journalists over coverage deemed hostile to White House. This is frightening, people. I cannot believe. And I've seen people tweet about it, how frightening this is. I'm just telling you, it is so frightening. A loose network of conservative whoa. I just realized something. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. Sometimes I have to be reminded of the important things about my stream, and two important things, and I'll get to both of them right now because I am running late, and this is usually the time I do them anyway. First of all, I can't go on without the funk. All right. I'm feeling a little better now. All right. Can you feel that? Can you feel that funky organ? And I'm talking about the musical organ. Yeah. And number 2, while I'm thinking about it, good morning, Piccolo. Good morning, C. Thomas, my brother. While I'm thinking about it, let me just go ahead and chill right now, because the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Yes, please, 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 right down there, kind of over there, that share button. You can't hear it. Oh, damn. Well, I can hear it just fine. Okay. Oh, because I muted it because it was, okay, there you go. Sorry. Silly me. Anyway, okay, so the Morning Live is brought to you by the viewers of the Morning Live. Right down there, something like that. I can't get the fingers right. It's this way. The arrow's down there. Hit that arrow. Share this out wherever you share shit. Preferably on Twitter, because Twitter's easy. And then also, but Facebook, Tumblr, LinkedIn, whatever you want to share it on, share it. Send an email to your mom. Do it on Discord. If you have a Discord server, do it on your Discord server. Anyway, share it to the show. Hit the like button if you like what we do. You don't have to do it now. You can do it later. If you like what we do, hit the like later. And then also, if you want to do super chats, we do them through the Streamlabs link in the description down there. Streamlabs via PayPal, whatever. And if you want it, super chats, if you absolutely need to have something heard, or if you have a question that you would like answered from Dawg Knight, I will answer questions, but just about any question through the Streamlabs link. All right, let's move on. Let's get into this article because I've wasted too much time. I'm already late. A loose network of conservative operatives allied with the White House is pursuing what they say will be an aggressive operation to discredit news organizations. Hold on. Discredit news organizations. Don't they do a pretty damn good job of discrediting themselves? But I digress. Deemed hostile to President Trump by publicizing damaging information about journalists. In this latest step in a long-running effort by Mr. Trump and his allies to undercut the influence of legitimate news reporting, 4 people familiar with the operation described how it works, asserting that it has compiled dossiers of potentially embarrassing social media posts and other public statements by hundreds of people who work at some of the country's most prominent news organizations. This group has already released information about journalists at CNN, The Washington Post, and The New York Times, 3 outlets that have aggressively investigated Mr. Trump. In response, you got no funk? You can't hear it still? You can't hear the funk? Is it that low? Hold on. Wait, you gotta hear it by now. Hang on a second. What? Has already released information about journalists at CNN. Oh, it's kind of low, isn't it? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'll turn it up just a tiny, tiny bit. It just seemed all loud to me. I don't know. All right, back to this thing here. Okay. Yeah, see, Thomas, how dare you show everyone our dirty laundry? LOL, legitimate news reporting. Y'all got my drift here. This is standard opera research stuff that politicians do against each other, and the media does with vigor. There's no claim that quotes are fabricated, because they're not. They're not talking about fabricated quotes. They're talking about actual stuff that dumbasses did. But it continues. But the material publicized so far, while in some cases stripped of context, presented in misleading ways, oh my gosh, has proved authentic. And much of it has been professionally harmful to its target. Now, Who's behind it? According to the New York Times, Trump supporters. It is clear from the cases to date that among the central players in the operation is Arthur Schwartz, a combative 47-year-old conservative consultant who is a friend and informal. What the fuck's an informal advisor? An informal advisor to Donald Trump. You mean like his one of Don Jr.'s buddies? What the fuck's an informal advisor to Donald Trump Jr.? The president's eldest son, Mr. Schwartz, has worked with some of the right's most aggressive operatives, including former Trump advisor Stephen K. Bannon. Ooh, now that's a boogeyman that they all would like to avoid. So, like how they write this. Mr. Schwartz has worked with some of the right's most aggressive operatives. You motherfuckers, it cracks me up. It's like, okay, let's make him look like Boogie. You know what this sounds like? Who else does this kind of stuff? Let me think. Who else? Let's read this description again. Pursuing what they say will be an aggressive operation to discredit X. I'll just put X in place of news organizations. A long-running effort to undercut the influence of legitimate news reporting. Compiles dossiers of potentially embarrassing social media posts and other public statements by hundreds of people. They've already released information about X people. This kind of sounds like the New York Times, doesn't it? I mean, think about how the New York Times and other of these media outlets, Washington Post in particular, think about how they covered the Covington Catholic kids. Aggressive operations to discredit, compiled dossiers of potentially embarrassing social media posts and other public statements and or pictures. This is the Washington Post, the New York Times covering Covington Catholic, isn't it? Released information about private citizens, or even CNN. Remember that lady who the old grandma they ambushed because she happened to retweet something that was, pro-Trump, and it happened to be they said it was some Russians. Wow, it's this whole. Are these guys talking about themselves? Good God. A.J. Salzberger. The New York Times is furious, and so I've seen it. A.G. Salzberger, the publisher of the Times, said in a statement that such tactics were taking the president's campaign against free press to a new level. Now, wait a minute. My question here is, how exactly does this hinder your ability to do your job as a free press? Is somebody coming down there and putting chains around the doors and putting police tape across "Do not enter" across the doors of the New York Times? Does the New York Times still have a correspondent who asks questions during press briefings at the White House? I'm pretty sure they're front and center with CNN and Washington Post and all these other people. They're not hindering you. Okay, let me continue. They are seeking to harass and embarrass anyone affiliated with the leading news organizations that are asking tough questions and bringing uncomfortable truths to light. Mr. Salzberger adds, the goal of this campaign is clear to intimidate journalists from doing their job, which it includes serving as a check on power, exposing wrongdoing when it occurs. The Times will not be intimidated or silenced. You know who else this sounds like? Are y'all familiar with Media Matters for America? Are y'all familiar with Share Blue? It is just unbelievable, the gall of these dudes. So anyway, this legal insurrection article is, talks about the call-out culture and cancel cultures enabled by major media. Old tweets, sometimes from teenage years, are dug up and turned into media feeding frenzies. In December, so here's a good example. In December 2018, Robbie Suave at Reason reported media attacks Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray for homophobic tweets he sent as a 14-year-old. Y'all remember this? University of Oklahoma quarterback Kyler Murray won the Heisman Trophy on Saturday. The internet being what it is, some folks on social media apparently took this as an opportunity to go looking for reasons to be outraged and discovered some homophobic tweets Murray sent when he was in high school. Murray apologized right away, tweeting, "I used a poor choice of word that doesn't reflect who I am or what I believe." 7 or 8 years later, while after he's in college and going into the NFL. I did not intend to single out any individual or group. For some reason, many media outlets decided this little non-controversy demanded a write-up. Yeah, because look, MSN, Yahoo News, Daily Mail, New York Post all wrote similar articles. In fact, it was on the USA Today. For some reason, many media outlets decided this little controversy demanded a write-up. As of early Saturday morning, 4 offensive tweets using an anti-gay slur remained active on the Heisman winner's account, USA Today tweeted, with links to its article titled Kyler Murray, Heisman winner's old homophobic tweets resurfaced. Now, they dug into fucking Kyler Murray 7 years later. How many guys, let me think about this. So some guy tweeted a bunch of shit when they were 14 years old, and he wins the Heisman Trophy, and so everyone's digging up his tweets from 7 years ago when you say a lot of stupid shit when you're 14. But hey, the media is worried about people, the New York Times is worried about now it's being turned on their own people. Good God. Let's see. Now, damn it, where's this thing here? Here it is. Where is it? Oh, here we go. I got a super chat from my good friend C. Thomas. Thank you, sir. Quote, "These people are complete hypocrites. They pull these very tactics and worse, but yet when they get the same as they deserve, they want to cry. Fuck these biased Nancy boy moral hypocrites. Hashtag rules for thee." That's the hashtag of the day. Hashtag rule for thee. Thank you, C. Thomas, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you, sir. Moving on, let's see. So anyway, so the media has not been immune. When Sarah Jeong was hired for the New York Times editorial board, at a senior and influential position, her long string of racist tweets was exposed. Those tweets were not from her teenage years and were made just a few years ago, making them arguably more relevant given she was joining the editorial board of the most influential paper in the country. And unbelievable as you read her tweets, like, she says they were sarcasm, though. When you read her tweets, they're way worse. And she's on the New York Times editorial board now. Dumbass fucking white people marking up the internet with the opinions like dogs pissing on fire hydrants. Oh, yeah, that's appropriate. Yeah, I wonder what you write about at the New York Times. Are white people genetically predisposed to burn faster in the sun, thus logically being only fit to live underground like groveling goblins? Oh, okay. Cancel white people. She seems to have a little problem with white people, and she's still on the New York Times editorial board. So apparently, what is it? What did you say, Thomas? What did that say? I know you said, what did it say? Hashtag rules for thee. Hey, yes. Just let your rulers rule. Don't worry about what they say in their time. We only need to worry about what you say on your time. So anyway, there's been a whole lot of Anyway, this just the tweets on this thing have been crazy. This is also absurd. Why should the media be above scrutiny when others, politicians, cultural figures, and particularly anyone right of center, are subject to such scrutiny? So they put a few tweets in here. David Edwards, discrediting news organizations using their own words. What kind of Nazi trick is this? My God. Good morning, Jason Burns. How you doing? Hi, Cynical Lindsay. How you doing? Hey, Max Del Rio. I see you. And Pincalo, my brother, of the driving truck kind of dude thing. All right. Mike Schellberger, I love and have written for the New York Times, but this article and hysterical accompanying statement by the publisher are both totally bananas. Oh my God, a couple of dudes dig up dumb tweets by our young woke staffers, and you act like it's the Pentagon Papers 2.0. Take a Xanax for your Trump derangement syndrome next time. Haha, exactly. Arthur Schwartz, the guy who they are claiming is the ringleader. Yeah, because nobody else. Oh, this is hilarious because he's replying to Brian Stelter from the New York. Here's what Brian Stelter says from the New York Times story. A CNN spokesman said that when government officials and those working on their behalf threaten and retaliate against reporters as a means of suppression, it's a clear abandonment of democracy for something very dangerous. Fuck you, Stelter. Oh my God, I'm swearing more and more just after these people are just insane. Arthur Schwartz, replying to that, says, my role in these efforts was profoundly over-exaggerated in that New York Times story. But interesting that CNN's immediate response is to suggest that my First Amendment rights should be limited because CNN doesn't like what I have to say. Exactly. So you guys in the New York Times and our overlords of the media think that perhaps you are immune because you're journalist? Kiss my big, slightly tanned ass. I'm a light-skinned dude, even though I'm black. You feel me there. Anyway, yeah, they're so freaking delusional. It's amazing. C. Thomas said it best. Hashtag rules for thee. All right. Hello, Marsupial Gamer. What's happening? Bald little Hyde Tucker doesn't want to put on his big boy pants. Isn't that the damn truth? Holy crap. Good morning, sir. Let's see. What's my next one here? Speaking of CNN, they have a new analyst on CNN. And it blows my freaking mind. CNN just hired Mr. Andrew McCabe. Yes, Andrew McCabe, who got fired from the FBI for lying. Yes, when they say lack of candor in the FBI, that's code for lying. CNN panelist, and I'm sure that Brian Stelter probably introduced this panel. CNN panelist defends network hiring Andrew McCabe, says he will provide serious expertise. Yeah, when he's indicted, he can provide commentary to his own indictment. How's that sound? A CNN panel Sunday defended the network hiring a former FBI deputy director who was fired for lying to the Bureau regarding leaks to the media while criticizing two competing networks for recently hiring former White House press secretaries. Now, the hilarious thing about this, so these guys hire Andrew McCabe, who lied to the Bureau, and by the Office of Professional The Office of Professional Responsibility recommended he be fired for lying. Okay, which they call lack of candor, for lying, and he was illegally leaking information to the press, not FBI protocol. Okay, now he blames it on Comey. Comey blames it on him. Somebody's not telling the truth, okay? They can't both be telling the truth, okay? So somebody's lying. Probably both of them. Anyway, Brian Stelter. Oh, Brian Stelter, the host of CNN's very poorly named Reliable Sources, led a discussion with contributors Erwin Carmen and Daniel Dale about the personnel decisions. Liberals panned ABC's decision. Oh, because everyone's pissed off because Sean Spicer's going on Dancing with the Network Stars. Let's see. A former press secretary that the Liberals don't like is going to be on a show where they're just dancing, right? Okay. Dancing versus Andrew McCabe going on CNN dancing around the truth. Good God. Anyway, and as well as Fox moved to hire Sarah Huckabee Sanders as a contributor. Stelter said on CNN Thursday, the hirings deserve outrage and backlash. What's funny is he said that about Dancing with the Stars first, and then he got into whether or not Fox News should hire Sanders. He was mad because someone is on Dancing with the Network Stars. Oh my God. Anyway. But Stelter, who covers this media for CNN, was far less outraged about his employer hiring of Andrew McCabe, who reportedly is still under a Justice Department investigation into his media leaks. Wait till that. I cannot wait till the Inspector General's report comes out. Now, the Inspector General's report may or may not be as monumental as I'm thinking it should be, but you got to remember, along with that Inspector General report, there's also going to be the grand jury that has been impaneled by John Durham, who's the new special prosecutor taking care of the information. They're calling it, what do they call it? Spygate. Okay, everything's a gate. If I ran my truck into a pole, they'd call it F-150 gate. But whatever. Instead of commenting on the McCabe hiring himself on Sunday's show, Stelter posed a question to one of his panelists. This is hilarious because they always blame everything on the right. The Republicans pounced, or the Republicans attacked, or here's what the right says. So here's what he asked. People on the right said, "Well, you're hiring McCabe. Why can't Fox hire Sanders? Is there a difference?" Stelter asked Carmen, a paid CNN analyst who writes for New York Magazine. "Of course there's a difference," said Carmen. "Andrew McCabe is going to bring serious expertise with respect to the FBI and investigations." Fredo, please. Come on now. Yeah, expertise on why he's getting indicted for leaking to the press and lying. Yes, it'll be like a reality show on CNN. Handcuffs. And he in no way was accused in standing in front of the American people and lying to them, she said. Fredo, please. He was accused of lack of candor about talking to the press. Oh my God. She's so full of shit. She says he was accused of lack of candor about talking to the press. Do you know what lack of candor means, Ms. Carmen? It's FBI speak for bitch lied. The proportion, the scale, and the substance are utterly non-comparable. Do you know what he lied about, miss? Do you know what he lied about? You know what his dishonesty and lies led to? Do you watch your own network? I'm sure at some point somebody mentioned what he lied about. Good God, what did his lies lead to? Along with some of his colleagues. Let's see, almost 2.5 years, 3 years, and about $40 million. Jesus Christ. Moments before her defense of CNN and McCabe, Carmen railed against the hirings of Spicer and Sanders, asking, does truth matter? Did you just, what'd you say up here? He was accused of lack of candor about talking to the press. Does truth matter? He was accused of lack of candor about talking to the press. Does truth matter? He was accused of lack of candor about talking to the press. Oh my God. Anyway, the CNN circle jerk, obviously, circling the wagons for their own. But hey, I would love to see Andrew McCabe as an analyst, as an analyst on CNN, and then watching him get arrested in the middle of a show. Excuse me. We have breaking news. The FBI is in the studio, and they're getting ready to take Andrew McCabe away. They're coming to take him away. Ha ha! God, I'm losing it, aren't I? All right, moving on. Hey, this is a cute story over the weekend. Astronaut accused of accessing her estranged spouse's bank account. First alleged crime in space. Officials with NASA are reportedly investigating an allegation that an astronaut accessed the bank account of her estranged spouse from space, which may be the first allegation of a crime committed in space. Anne McClain, a decorated astronaut who was once set to be part of NASA's first all-female spacewalk, allegedly accessed Summer Warden's bank account while on a 6-month mission aboard the International Space Station, according to a report from the New York Times. The pair were married in 2014. Warden filed for divorce in 2018. Warden filed a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission claiming that McClain had stolen her... Wait, what? Oh, okay, spouse. Anyway. Warden filed a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission claiming that McClain had stolen her identity, although she saw no signs of anyone had moved or used funds in the account. The Times reported. Warden's parents brought a separate complaint to NASA's Office of the Inspector General that described a highly calculated and manipulative campaign designed to win custody of the couple's child. There's unequivocally no truth to these claims. We've been going through a painful personal separation that's now unfortunately in the media, McClain said in a statement released on Twitter. I appreciate the outpouring of support and reserve comment until after the investigation. I have total confidence in the Inspector General process. NASA declined to comment on personal or personnel matters involving employees, but released a statement to Space.com saying, Lieutenant Colonel Anne McClain has an accomplished military career, flew combat missions in Iraq, and is one of NASA's top astronauts. She did a great job at her most recent NASA mission aboard the International Space Station. Now get this. This is the best part. Through her lawyer, Rusty Harden, McClain told the Times that she had accessed the account, but insisted that she did so to ensure the family's finances were in order and that there were sufficient funds in the account to take care of their child, who was born a year before they met. What? Sufficient funds in the account to care for their child, who was born a year before they met. Okay, just one of those weird family things. She claimed that she was never told to stop using the account and continued to use the same password she had throughout the relationship. Hey, this is women leading the way. The first crime from outer space. Now, you got to wonder. What's fascinating about this, too, is... excuse me. What's fascinating about this is you would think there was a jurisdictional issue, right? Because how do you commit a crime in space when legally nobody owns space, right? So she's out in space. How do you prosecute for something like this? Well, here's how. Let's see. The International Space Station is a joint project involving the United States, Canada, Japan, Russia, and several European countries. There is a legal framework that dictates people and possessions in space are under the jurisdiction of their country of origin, according to the BBC. So, anyway, these two ladies are going to have to fight it out in court. Their relationship didn't last that long, and they have a kid that was born before they met. I'm not sure. Maybe they adopted a child. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, here's her problem right now, because legally, and if any lawyers out there, hey, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but legally, McLean had really no legal reason to access the account without Warden's permission. Now, she may have been given a password in the past, whatever, but they filed for divorce. They were, and then she made the mistake down here through her lawyer. Her lawyer admits it, that she accessed the account. I'm thinking maybe Warden, the woman who's on the ground, not the woman who was in space. I think Warden has a pretty good case here, because I don't think that's legal. Okay, and in fact, here's the New York Post. Oh, and then now the New York Post article on the same story. NASA astronaut denies space crime accusations amid bitter divorce battle. Okay. She says wait a minute. Decorated astronaut Anne McLean has denied she stole her estranged wife's identity while on a mission, and as officials investigate her for what may be the first crime committed in space. Now here she says, there's unequivocally no truth to these claims, McLean said on Saturday on Twitter. We've been going through a painful personal separation that now is unfortunately in the media. Wait a minute, we just read that she admitted she went into the account. Case closed. Case closed. Okay, enough. We've read enough. All right, let's see. What was the next one? Oh gosh, no, I'm not going to get into that one because that was just sad. All right, hey, what time is it? 10:07. You know what? I know we're having a short day, but good morning, Chi-Town Jay. How you doing? Nice to see you in the show. Let's get into Twitter trends. Also, by the way, let's see here. I got thank yous to Necrosol and Rolling Bear for tweeting out the show today. I appreciate that. While you're here, if you're thinking about it, you can do that too by hitting the share button. How do I? Which way I point? I point that way. That way. Share button is down here somewhere. Hit that share button. You can tweet this out too. And especially if you're watching this after the fact, I really appreciate it. The only way for me to get my word out is having you do it. YouTube doesn't do it. I'm small potatoes to YouTube. They don't care. They don't recommend anybody anyway. And I talk about too many controversial topics, so they're not going to recommend me. Anyway, if you like it, let people know you like it. Hit the like button, do all that stuff. And, hello. I feel a super chat coming in. I heard that little dingy thing. C. Thomas with another $2. Thank you, sir. One thing before I vanish. CNN are just the most illegitimate outlet because they want to bitch about Fox hiring Sanders while they hire a fucking criminal. CNN and the other completely biased outlets are why we don't trust most, if not all, major outlets. Yes, sir. And also, have a great day, C. Thomas. I appreciate you. What's the share button? Share button? Share button. Share. Yeah, share. Like, do you believe in love after love after love after love after love? I want everything about me said. I really don't think strong enough now. Yeah, that share. You share and share alike. Or share and sunny alike, whichever you prefer. All right, let's get into Twitter trends. See, what's happening on Twitter today? By the way, the title of my stream today is in honor of International Dog Day, brothers and sisters. International Dog Day is #1 trending on Twitter today. And the picture in the thumbnail after I changed it, if you haven't seen the new thumbnail, I changed it, is a picture of my dog Lucky, who is also my avatar. Now, I also have a dog named... Oh, what's that noise? Oh, that's the alarm to tell me to do Twitter trends. I also have another dog named Clifford. He's a big old, fun, goofy-looking dog. I think he's half... What is it? He's half German Shepherd. Both my dogs are half German Shepherd. But Lucky's half German Shepherd and terrier, some kind of terrier. We're just guessing because she's yippy like that, but she's definitely part German Shepherd. And then Clifford is half German Shepherd, half pit bull, I think, because he has this big old wide head, but he looks like he's just a beautiful dog. I should put some pictures of him up too. I feel bad, but Lucky is my avatar, so I use Lucky in a lot of things on this channel. Anyway, because I had Lucky when I started the channel, and I didn't have Clifford yet, so that's kind of how that shit works. Anyway, International Dog Day. What's happening on internet? There's some beautiful pictures of dogs on here. This is my favorite, and this is probably the only one I'm going to show. I just think that's the cutest. People around the world are paying tribute to their fur babies on International Dog Day. Now, in China... Never mind. I'm not going to go there. The share button is for gypsies, tramps, and thieves. They hear from the people of the town. They call us gypsies, tramps, and thieves. I'm not going to finish that line. Anyway, because they lay their money down. Anyway, I just think that's the cutest gif ever of that dog playing with its ears. All right, moving on. After International Dog Day, #2. Oh, it's Women Equality Day. Well. Let's. This is going to be fascinating. Oh my gosh, have you seen that video of the comedians doing? I know you've seen people probably taking the video down. The comedians, the women talking about 200. It'll take 208 years for women to be equal, with no real data qualifying. It's just some bullshit thing saying, oh, it'll take 200 years for women to be equal. You know, let's skip that. Let me see what's on. Let's see what's under his 19th Amendment, Women Equality Day, National Women's Equality Day, all trending. Let's see what the top tweets on this are. The U.S. Army celebrates Women's Equality Day, and we salute all those who step up to serve and make a difference in the world. Video by Sergeant Ross Mark. Yep. You know what? I have no problem with women in the military. I still, though, it's a very, very rare and exceptional woman who can meet the same physical requirements that the men are required to do. Now, it doesn't mean that they can't do their jobs in the military, but and especially as far as driving, pilots, things like that, probably not a big deal. But certain, there's just issues to having combat units. I don't know, but that works out in Israel. There are phenomenal female soldiers in Israel, and so I'm not really worried about that. But you got to make sure that you maintain certain standards, particularly if you're in the field. I went through some Marine training when I was in college. I went through what's called the Officers PLC course, Platoon Leaders course, which is a 10-week course. And, the physical requirements of that are pretty damn, they're, like I said, just because of physiology, not because women aren't equal mentally, and not because of anything else other than almost strictly physiology. You have to have an exceptional woman who can you cannot lower those standards for women who are going to be out in the field. Let's just put it that way. All right. Anyway, future female leaders. Here's to the strong women. May we know them. May we be them. May we raise them. I agree. My daughter. I'm so hyped about my daughter. She's a very strong person. Still looking for what she wants to do, but I'm so proud of her. Anyway, happy birthday. Oh, it's also NASA History Office, happy birthday to mathematician Katherine Johnson, who turns 101 today. Her contributions to the space program, detailed in Margot Shetterly's Hidden Figures, continue to inspire us, especially today on Women's Equality Day. Read more about her story. Hey, I think that's worth a read. I'm not going to read it here because it's a pretty long story, but I will put this in the chat. Copy, paste, if you want to read that story. She's a pretty cool story. The story has a little bit of embellishment, but she is an absolutely important figure in NASA history, no doubt whatsoever. Phenomenal mathematician, and I have a special affinity for women who become mathematicians because my mother was a math major in college. She started out in pre-med, but she ended up finishing her degree in mathematics, taught high school, higher level math, trigonometry, calculus, things like that, until she became a guidance counselor. So, hey, gotta love them women mathematicians. What else? Let me see if there's any really stupidity on this today. Women in the U.S. have been fighting for equality for a long time. Yeah, and good God, they have achieved it. Wait a minute. Equality in your pay? Well, do the same job for the same number of hours, for the same tenure, and with the same production. And your pay will be equal. That's a proven fact. Okay? Just it is. Sorry. Billie Jean King, 99 years ago, to the 19th Amendment, the Constitution was ratified, giving women the right to vote. Women of color had to wait much longer. Well, no, only in particular states. For example, the states where my parents are from, they were my mom was voting when she turned 18. And my mom is absolutely a woman of color. Now, yes, there are certain states where they tried to fuck with you, and it took us a while to fix that. Within one generation, we fixed that too. You got to remember, this is a very young country, and so if you can make a significant change in one generation, be proud of that. But yeah, it did take longer for some people to get the vote, or be not the legal right to vote, for just the what's the word for it? Just because people were trying to stop people from voting. Oh, good old Beta O'Rourke just chimes in on Women Equality Day. Let's celebrate the progress women have made in America. Yeah, and full stop. But also recognize how much work we need to do to realize true equality. Okay, here's these people. What does true equality look like? Because methinks it's not. If people make choices in life based on how they want to live their life, how they want to raise their kids, how they want to do this and that, there's always going to be some people that make different choices than you. So if you don't make the same choices, you're not going to have the same outcomes. And if there are more people who decide, you know what, we're going to breastfeed this child, so it's easier for me to take the time off to do that than it is to pump every day or do this at work or whatever. If we can afford it, would one of you take the time off? In my own family, we were like, okay, how are we going to afford to be able to raise our own kids? It was very important for me and Lady Boomer to raise our own kids. And so we rearranged our entire life so that at least for the first 3, 4, 5 years of our kids' lives, we raised them. We never put our kids in daycare. Now, we had to make sacrifices to do that. And at the time, I was able to work in my job, which was a lot of it was my schedule. I could work around some things, and her schedule, some work around some things. And that's what people do. Some people will always choose to raise their own kids. Some people, if they can afford it, will have someone stay home and raise their kids the first few years. Now, does that automatically causes a wage gap, doesn't it? Okay. So what is this equality for all that they're talking about look like? Does it mean that if you want to become an electrical engineer and you're a woman and you decide that you want to work those same hours as the other electrical engineers, is that an opportunity for you? And will you make the same amount of money if you have the same hours, same production, same tenure whatsoever? Yes, you'll make the exact same wage, maybe even more, because there's a big push to hire women in certain fields and minorities in certain fields. I know if I know that a certain kid in my family who's a software engineer probably has the sky's the limit just because he has he's very super smart and he's has some minority things going for him. I don't know. It's unfortunate that we have to think that way, but boy. On this day in 1920, women were granted the right to vote. On this day in 1970, women went on strike for equality. What are you doing today in 2019 to help? Help? What? The Equal Rights Amendment? I don't think you want that Equal Rights Amendment, at least not the people who are pushing for it. It's funny. We want more women CEOs. We want more women here and there, but we certainly... Okay, I want more women sanitation workers. I want more women digging ditches. I want more women plumbers. I want more women who drive around and drop off portable toilets and clean them. Oh, that you did when you said when you said equality, you didn't mean that, did you? Oh, I get it. Only the CEO, the high paying jobs, the CEOs. I wish. Oh, you know who had a really great video on that? Dr. Random McCann. Let me find that because I think I just watched that. He had probably one of the better videos on this. I'm going to put that in the chat too. Where's my history here? I watched it not too long ago. It was probably today, actually. Here we go. I'll put a link to this video. I thought this was brilliant. Let's see. We'll pause that. Whoops.
I'm Maya.
Hi, I'm Maya, whatever my name is. We're going to share. Hit this. Oh, no. That's not what I want to do. I want to share. Copy. And we'll put this in the chat. When you're done, watch this video. It's pretty damn good. But one of the things in there was talking about, it's 2019, and 25% of our Congress or whatever, 25% is women, and that's great because only 25% of the population is women. Oh wait, no, it's 50% or 51 or whatever. You know what? You know why only 25% of our Congress and Senate and whatnot are women? Because only 25% of people who run for office are women. That's interesting. 25% of people who run for office are women, and 25% of people in office are women. That's an interesting correlation. Oh, you saw that functional too? Oh, that was, hello. Hello, Eagle, how you doing? And it's kind of funny because it's women in tech. This is the big thing when James Damore got fired for his, the Google memo, whatever thing he did, there was absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm just telling you. In fact, I did a video on that. You should go watch my video on the Google memo. I only did one. I was going to do a series, but the first one of that series that I started, go watch that. You can dig through my videos on that. But so the big thing is, people complain, there's only 19%, there's only about 17 to 19% women in tech, in that field of tech. They like to think that tech only means computer science, but really, it's STEM, science, technology, whatever. Actually, women are in 50% of the STEM fields, but what STEM fields do they choose? For example, it's like 86% of people in veterinary school and veterinarians are women. Now, why is that? Is it because someone told them to go be veterinarians? I don't know, probably not, but that's the case. So about 80 to 86% of the field of veterinarians are women. Well, if you think about computer science, Silicon Valley, they're always complaining, oh, well, there's only 20% of women in tech in Silicon Valley. Well, you know why? Because only 19% of women majoring in computer science are women. I laughed about that. Hello, Toaster Network. I laughed about that because, I asked my son, because when he went to school and he said, I'm going to major in computer science. And I was thinking, okay, cool. I'm good for you. You're really good at math. He did all the math, AP classes in math in high school, and he loves that stuff. And so when he got to his university, I'm like, well, I was just curious because someone was saying that I didn't even preface it. I said, what do you think the percentage of males to female are in your computer science classes? And he said, it's probably like 15 to 20%. I'm like, okay, yeah, of course. and then I looked it up and it's like, yes, 19% of women, or 19% of college computer science and computer engineering majors, 19% are women. And 19% of the people who work in Silicon Valley are women. Oh, well, I wonder why 80% of managers in Silicon Valley are men. Oh, because only 19%. There's that. You following me here? All right, I've ranted about that long enough. Let's get back into the Twitter trends. So anyway, a record number of women are serving. This is, oh God, swing left. A record number of women are serving in the 116th Conference, led by House Democrats flipping the House. Still, women only make 23% of Congress. Only 23% of congressional candidates have been women. There's a correlation. If more women run, maybe there'll be more women in Congress. I don't know why more women don't run. Go figure that out yourselves, and maybe there'll be more. Who knows? Moving on. Number 3 trending, The Rise of Skywalker. Watch the epic new footage from Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Well, I'm sorry. I haven't seen a Star Wars movie since the one with Jar Jar Binks. I know Star Wars is still popular, but I've heard they've kind of... Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe somebody will figure out how to make this better. The only thing I know is that the one with the Skywalker's daughter that's supposed to, she's kind of the Mary Sue, and could do all this stuff without even trying, and she's perfect, never even picking shit up. It didn't make sense. There's no journey. And really, apparently, the first one with her in it was pretty much Star Wars Episode 4, but just redone with her as the character. Oh, I've seen parts of that now that I think about it, but it was just like, okay, they're kind of doing the same thing. Anyway, well, I have to get caught up on Star Wars before I talk about it, so I'm not even gonna click on that. Wait, no, I'm gonna click on it. Let's see what the top tweets are on it. New footage from Star Wars Rise of Skywalker have been revealed. I love this dramatic bitch with all my heart. Okay, all right. Palpatine about to roll out in a spaceship after creating Dark Ray. Okay, I don't know what that means. I feel... Okay, I don't know. There's some people excited about it. Well, who knows? We'll see how... I'll just wait to hear how people talk about it. Who knows? Moving on. Monday morning, Monday motivation. I'll skip those. Dark Ray, skipping that. Doral. Oh, gosh. U.S. May host the next G7 at the Trump Doral Golf Resort, Trump says. Oh my gosh, he's such a troll. Okay, so hello Jaeger Pony, how you doing? I see you popped in, and Toasted Network. President Trump said he is possibly looking at hosting the 2020 G7 summit at his Trump National Doral Miami Golf Resort. Well, the Japanese prime minister will appreciate that because he's an avid golfer too. Let me see how pissed off people are. David Fairnold, the Doral Resort is severely underperforming because Trump's brand is unpopular. The Trump Organization's own representative said last year, here's one way to get new customers. Oh, there you go. Yeah, whatever. Happy Monday from the G7. If you're just waking up, President Trump is holding the next G7 at Trump Doral, which is losing money. Trump is also claimed Chinese officials have asked to renew trade talks. And there is a Trump presser scheduled to happen at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so that's straightforward. Okay, at least that's just news. I want to hear the people bitching about it, though. No, fuck it. I don't care. Let's move on. Kylo, that's the Star Wars thing. Game week. Oh, game week. I bet that has something to do with football. Yeah, baby. College football is back. It's game week, which means it's also time for the 4-yard dash. Season 16, week 1, first quarter. More to come throughout the day. Bring it. Whatever that is. Getting up for game week like, oh, this dude's that's some, damn. Push that up, brother. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Damn. That's a, how many plates is that? Hold on, let me pause this. Let me go back here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plates on both sides. 7 times 40, 14 times 45 plus 45. Damn, I can't even count that. So 8 times 14, 15 times 45. Oh my God, you do the math. That's a lot of weight that dude's pushing up. Alabama football game time. Everyone's getting excited for the first week of college football. All right, moving on. Happy first day of school. Yes, in different parts of the country, school starts different times. Last week was, some places started last week, some places started this week. In Minnesota, we start the day after Memorial Day, not to interfere with the Minnesota State Fair, which, as I mentioned earlier in the show, is the second largest state fair in the country behind Texas. Excited to see everyone back on campus. Happy first day of school, Bucks. Okay, so first day, some people like first day of school, some people crying. I'm going to move on. If you got kids at school, happy first day of school. Prophet or Drunk, what's happening? How you doing? Nice to see you. Let's see. Star Destroyers, Doug. Okay, everything in here is about the Star Wars thing. Oh, Yang's climate plan is trending. Let's see. I have pulled all the infographics from Yang's climate plan. The rest will be attached next week. How we achieve net zero emissions by 2050. Let's look at this graphic because I think, let's see, let me do a full screen on this one. Because net zero emissions. Establish net zero standards for new buildings, 2025. How? How do you do that when the power you have to have an energy source that's net zero? So are you saying that you think solar panels are going to work everywhere in the country? I don't know. We're the one country that actually has been lowering emissions the most, at least by volume. Now, granted, we are one of the larger countries of putting emissions out there, but that's because we have the most people. Well, not the most, but we're like the 4th largest country in the world by population. But and then you have countries who are increasing emissions exponentially. Actually, that Paris Accord, I think we're on track if we would have stayed in it even. I think we're on track with that. Anyway, begin to use nuclear reaction. Now, I think as they learn nuclear reactors with there's a different kind of fusion, and there's also a way to renew nuclear fuel. As soon as they figure that out, how to renew nuclear fuel, I think that nuclear power will have a resurgence. If you can get by the people who have a mindset that it's unsafe, that's going to be the problem. Set zero emission standards for all new car models. Yeah, if you go to hydrogen, some kind of hydrogen fuel, ensure that 100% of electricity is renewable. That ain't going to happen. Sorry. That will never happen, because unless you come up with something that, because then, well, why would you then, oh my God, it's just crazy. Anyway, that's his plan. Whatever. Yeah, it's a great plan. Somebody who's innovative and who's already working on something is going to come up with something that's going to blow your socks off and actually achieve things without having the government forcing you to do it. And people will buy that product because they can save money. You see, it's funny how many freaking Teslas I saw while I was out in California. Tons of them everywhere you went. When we were, especially in the Los Angeles area, everyone's driving a freaking Tesla. It's a popular car now. The fact that they have a little problem with their business model, and the fact that you have to mind, there's still, even a Tesla is not zero emissions over the life of the problem, because because the mining of the cobalt and the process to build those cars, actually, you would have to drive them like 100 years to make them carbon neutral. It's just funny. But good luck, Andrew Yang. Monday thoughts, Melania. Oh my God, this fucking Melania loves Trudeau bullshit. I'm sure you saw this. There was the photo that looked like that Melania Trump was leveling, looking at this. The now viral photo shows Melania puckering her lips, her face only inches from Trudeau's. Yeah, she kissed him on the cheek twice. There's a video, actually. Where's the video? It's in, let me think here. It's in Twitchy. Let's look for Twitchy here. News, Twitchy, Melania Trump. So that picture, you know how I keep talking about how they love to use still photos to make it look like something's happening when it's not. We saw that with the Eric Garner video, okay? So they have the still frame of the video where Eric Garner is, where is it? Where Eric Garner is in the so-called chokehold for that split second. And then when we actually run the video, you see that it's a fraction of a second, but if you stop the picture at the right time, yes, Eric Garner was choked out. Even though he wasn't, the chokehold was removed immediately. Where the hell is this? Oh, April Ryan. Holy shit. Y'all know about April Ryan. Here we go, right here. So here's the video, okay, of the still that they shot. Okay, you can see, and I'll show you where this happens. So this picture, they's like, oh, yes, Melania Trump is just fawning over Justin Bieber. I'm going to call him Bieber instead of Trudeau. Justin fucking Bieber. Anyway, here's the video. Where is it? Hang on. So here's the video of what actually happened there. Okay, let's watch this for a second. Let's do this. We're going to put it on Twitter or on YouTube. All right, so this is it. So they take all the pictures with just the leaders, and then they bring up spouses and whatnot. Trump is next to Trudeau. And they take their photo on the beautiful scenic island, wherever they are. Now the spouses come up. Now, watch. Here's Trump and Melania coming up there. And then, now, here's the place where... Okay, so see there it is. That was it. Here's where they stopped the photo. Okay, they got this photo. Okay, wait a minute, hang on here. So she says there it is. Yes, that's Melania Trump dreamily looking at Justin Trudeau for exactly a still frame in a split second in time. God, they're just so desperate, man. They're just so desperate to have some bullshit happening. Where'd my Twitter go? All right, so that's it. I'm done with this. It's that time. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before we know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Okay, so hey guys, thank you for being here today. I know I was a little late and had to shorten it up, but I hope you had fun. Hope you found something interesting. There's a chance, and I'll watch my Twitter feed. By the way, my Twitter is right down here. At Dawg Knight. I'm on Twitter, Minds and Gab, using that handle. My Instagram is Yes That Marty. as opposed to the other Marty. Yes, that Marty. And also, if you ever want to email me stories or send stories to me, you can do them via Twitter DMs. My DMs are open. Or you can send them by email. Put the @ on the other side of Dawg Knight, pdogknight@gmail.com. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT, for the people around the world who use GMT to figure out when things are happening in the Americas. And if you haven't already done so, on your way out, share, like, subscribe. Oh, yeah, if you haven't subscribed, I don't know how you got here, but subscribe. Yes, subscribe. And tell your friends to subscribe. I'm desperate. I'm not desperate. Anyway, thanks again. And if you can support the channel through the Streamlabs link anytime, day or night, or during the show for Super Chat. So everyone have a great Monday. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the Dawg Knight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. A special thanks to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through our Streamlabs link in the description below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.